Now we have to lead off with the big story of the week in Las Vegas sports. As we mentioned, Pete Carroll, one and done.
Yeah, that's right, Taylor. It wasn't a surprise that the team decided to move on, but it was surprising that this season was as much of a failure as it was. The Raiders began this season with a big win in New England against a Patriots team that won 14 games. Another key moment during the year was the ending of their Week 4 game with the Bears, where a blocked kick in the final minute sealed a 1-point loss for the Silver and Black. From there, the season went off the rails.
During a 10-game losing streak, the team was shut out twice, held to 10 points or fewer 5 times. This decision to give Chip Kelly the largest contract for a coordinator in the league failed miserably. Kelly fired after just 11 games, and the Raiders finished the season 3-14. That's the worst record for the team since 2006. But the players still had a lot of positive things to say about Pete Carroll.
You know, Pete gave everything, you know, and like I said, utmost respect to him. Very great guy, and like I said, as a person, tremendous.
Bringing your best in the biggest moments. He always talking about doing stuff right longer than the other team, so I think that's what football's about.
Yeah, it didn't matter what the record was. He was bringing the same energy in himself and pouring his heart out for us, and you know, he just really wanted the best for his players.
And now the Raiders enter the most important offseason since their move to Vegas. The team will now look for the right two guys for the two most important jobs on the team, their next head coach and their next franchise quarterback. Now that the 2025 season has come to a conclusion, the Raiders' search for their next leader is the top sports story here in the Valley. The question is, will this be the offseason the Silver and Black find that stability that the franchise has been lacking for decades?
So who will be leading the Raiders when they take the field in September? A few names have already stood out from the pack, including a couple of defensive coordinators with head coaching experience. I talked with Ted Wynn from The Athletic about the top options for the Silver and Black. We've watched a lot of Raiders football this season, for better or for worse. What do you make of this coaching search so far?
The Raiders are kind of making a reputation for one-and-done type of coaches, and I think they want to end that trend here with this coaching search. Finding an offensive mind to pair with the number one pick, who presumably is going to be a quarterback, is going to be extremely important. And I think one of the first questions I would ask any of these coaches or candidates is who they are going to bring in as the offensive line coach, because that's going to be one of the most important hires.
Now, I want to get into some of these candidates. Davis Webb, one of the more surprising candidates, in my opinion, on this list. One of the youngest candidates in this cycle and a divisional rival. So what stands out about him to you, and why do you think a team like the Raiders might think he's ready for a bigger role than a quarterback's coach?
Yeah, I think with a coach like Davis Webb, you are early on him because he's so young. He was just playing quarterback in this league a few years ago, but he's a guy that knew he wanted to be a coach. He was gearing up to be a coach. I think people recognize that. He has not called plays in this league yet, but he has a lot of respect from people around this league. I think there are questions to whether he's built a big enough network to put together a good staff, because that's one of the most important jobs for a head coach. Very intriguing candidate. But you would have to be willing to take some growing pains.
Matt Nagy and Vance Joseph, they've both been head coaches before. What can the Raiders gain by looking at coaches with that kind of experience, and what are the risks that may happen, as we saw last season?
You're just hoping that the experience matters. They know what to do. They know how to build a program out. Obviously, that doesn't always work out, but I think experience is important, especially for a team that needs some stability.
Huge part of this conversation, Brian Flores. He hasn't been confirmed for an interview quite yet, but he keeps coming up as the betting favorite. So when you look at the Raiders, do you like that match? What are your thoughts on it?
You know, it's really hard to do something new in this league from a schematic standpoint, but he is one of the most creative schemers in the league. And I think the big thing with him is he ended his first tenure as a Dolphins coach on a bad note. Obviously, he had a bad relationship with Tua, their quarterback, but other players as well. So you're hoping that he learned from that and he's a different type of coach. But there's also the New England shadow that kind of hangs from it. The Raiders just moved on from Josh McDaniels, who tried to install that Patriots way with the Raiders, and that didn't work out. It is something that you have to be concerned about if you're Mark Davis.
When we look back on this decision that the Raiders are making, what will success look like?
I think success will look like getting the offensive line fixed, getting the quarterback in place, and just seeing him have some growth. Obviously, you don't expect a rookie quarterback to go out and just light the world on fire. It'd be nice if he did. You just want to see some progress. I think that's the big thing from last year is there wasn't progress. It's one thing to lose games, but it's another just not to see any development. And that's what we have to see from this new coach, whoever it's going to be.
A lot of great insight there into one of the two pivotal decisions that will be made by General Manager John Spytek this offseason.
Yeah, that's right, Taylor. Spytek met with the press to talk about the road ahead. Spytek was hired as general manager the day before Pete Carroll agreed to be the head coach. So this will be Spytek's first chance to hire a coach of his choosing. Now, Spytek talked about what he's looking for in their next head coach, and he stressed the importance of sustaining success.
We're looking for someone to build this the right way and not think that, you know, we've got to produce 10 wins or whatever next year. That'd be great to do. And we see teams like the Patriots and the Jaguars flip it. The goal is constant, meticulous improvement so that this organization and the Raider Nation can be proud when they walk into Allegiant Stadium.
Now, who do we want to see on the Raiders sideline? Taylor, I know Jim Harbaugh made the case. He's like, I don't want to see my brother anywhere else but the NFC. I would personally love to see a Harbaugh brother rivalry in the AFC West. What do you think?
Such good coaches in the AFC, and I think two Harbaughs would just be absolutely electric. But I feel like the Raiders are probably a little bit worried about having another CEO type head coach.
Sure.
I think it's really interesting that they're bringing in somebody who's so young, 30 years old, in the Broncos quarterbacks coach. I think they really are trying to move away from somebody who has, you know, the same kind of experience and that same CEO mold that Pete Carroll did bring. But Alex, we are on agreement on one pick. Go ahead. Tell the people.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Got to.
I mean, why not? Why not?
I mean, he's done such great things with the Commanders, and I think he would be perfect for grooming whoever the next young quarterback is that the Raiders are bringing in.
Absolutely.